Hello, hello, hello. What's up, people? I am back with gaming and esports with Srini. So, it's been just about at the time that Valorant Champions Tour has started. Just been a few days now. The Mecca of Valorant has begun. And as promised, the next few weeks, I'll be covering content around Valorant and Champions. And I also have something really big coming up on my channel. So, yes, stay tuned for that. Next week, I'm going to be announcing something huge that's dropping on these channels. But before I go to the next week, let me go to talking about what is up for this episode of Gaming and Esports with Srini. If you're watching on Instagram, just let me give you a fair warning. Quickly on your laptop or wherever you can, open up the Liquipedia page for VCT Champions. And you might even listen to this episode as a podcast because a lot of the talking that I'll do will be something around the champions and where it goes in the future. So, yeah, that's something which you can do. And one of the things that I'm doing on this episode is penning my thoughts about the VCT champions. That's going to happen. That's already started. But yeah, before I get there, let me also kind of tell you how I got started this weekend. With the amazing enthusiasm and the gusto that most teams have shown in the matches that happened in the last few days, I was curious, let me just dig deep into the game, into the tournament, into the, you know, preparation and get to know your players a little bit better. And I'm sure a lot of you people who have, been Valorant fanboys have watched a lot of these videos on the Valorant Champions Tour YouTube channel. But I thought, you know what, let me just go right in and binge watch it all over again to kind of get into the whole champions zone. So definitely recommend you to watch these amazing videos. There's, the video playlists of Valorant Champions Istanbul 2022, the Fire Hue music video, the champions film, and some really amazing content out there. Great direction, great storyline, and also VCT stories. If you haven't watched them from before, that's something which will give you a little bit of insights and stories from some of your favorite players. Heck, I went into this whole rabbit hole of watching all of these videos. I even ended up watching SK Rossi, VCC Story, and Hardwork.exe all over again. I mean, being a global esports fan, I would definitely want to do that, right? But anyway, coming back to Valorant, especially the Champions Tour, let me tell you a few things that I'm looking forward to, and especially since the last few days' matches have been so amazing, some insane results, some spoilers. All right, I'm gonna talk about stuff which, if you haven't got the latest results or intend to watch those matches or highlights, I say you do that and come back later, right? So it's been already a few days, and there's some scrappy plays, there's some really interesting comebacks, there's some interesting 9-3 curses, and of course the results have been something different, and also, you know, getting tough for some of the groups. So let's see how that goes. Okay, let me quickly share the screenshot of the Liquidia page for champions. Give me 1 second right here. Here you go. All right. For those who are watching on YouTube, you should probably have the screenshot on your page, on your screen. All right. So, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about, of course, you know, who I think can probably proceed further in the group stages. And there is also a video where a lot of casters, have actually picked up their lineups, or rather, as you call them, pick'ems. I made my pick'em on VLR a while back. Some of them, after watching few matches yesterday and day before, might change. I might lose a lot of points there. But anyways, Group A. Group A, of course, as much as I'm rooting for PRX, they've had a little setback with their defeat against Lev. I mean, the amazing LATAM team pulled off a blinder and beat PRX in their first match against each other. Um, I do hope though Paper X qualifies by winning the remaining matches. I mean, it's one of the tougher groups I feel because can't really say for sure if PRX, Liquid, or even Edward Gaming could be in the top two. So we gotta wait and watch probably. Group B seems like one of the easier groups. Obviously, I mean, Optic and Loud have a straight walkthrough in a sense, but I can't be that sure. With Valorant, anything can happen. I mean, we also know how many times Optic and Loud have faced off against each other at the international stage. So that's something the green grudge is on, and definitely Loud didn't kind of hit it in the last game. But I think they still have a chance to go ahead and do a little better later. And I mean, of course, in this case, they both should likely go the distance. Group C, I mean, one of the teams in there is a no-brainer, right? I mean, just because one thing is for sure, they have been the winners of Masters Copenhagen. But other than that, just look at how they played their amazing games so far, very similar to how DRX is playing. In fact, and a lot of comebacks and a lot of interesting plays and cool, calm, composed teams. They've really got better, and they have the whole defending champions of sorts for the Masters. Obviously, let's see if they win champions or not. And yeah, I mean, I still hope. Let's see who between Crew, Xset, and actually just between Crew and Xset who comes through. And speaking of DRX, I mean, Group D, it is something which was probably perceived as a group of death. But having seen these games that have happened so far, it's definitely changed, completely changed. I would say in a way, I definitely had DRX on my list, but boy, how have they performed? I mean, I didn't expect the way they performed to be in that zone. I definitely hope they would qualify as the second team here, and 100 Thieves being the first. But amazing victory with against 100 Thieves. They had some strong mental, some amazing gameplays, some 4Ks and clutches and whatnot. Man, that's something which is really mind blowing, and that's why this group is now suddenly a group of death again, because really, if 100 Thieves and the DRX go through, and DRX has already gone through, but 100 Thieves goes through, Fnatic really have to kind of do a tough job. They're playing against DRX, and as much as I love Boaster, the one of the most animated IGLs, as well as a great personality. And then there's Alfire, who's the homeboy from Turkey, right? Happening in Istanbul. So there's crowd support rooting for him, but they've really got their work cut out. So let's see. These are some of my pickings, and I think this is going to be an interesting phase here on. And of course, I'm going to be sharing something exciting that's going to happen on this podcast. So that's coming up next week. And if you have any guesses about my big update, why don't you drop a comment below? Until then, I'll see you next time on Gaming and Esports.